Alrighty, it is 4:41 p.m. and it is cold outside today and there's wind blowing and it's super thrilling out there. So my hands are very, very cold and my knuckles are very, very stiff. I do have the compression gloves. I got them yesterday, and yesterday they did seem to help when it was slightly warmer in the house, but even right now, I don't know if you can tell, but this hand especially, the knuckles are much more swollen than this one. Like, the gloves are much tighter around here right now because they rest on my knuckles. I think that if these continue to help when it's warm out, I'll eventually invest in a pair of the ones that go all the way up through the fingers. I just knew that these would be easier to type in, and I can still use all of my devices because they're fingerless. But I also think that it would be helpful to like sleep in the ones that are long and or type in them when it's cold out, and then just use one of my pen thingies to use all of my devices. It would be a mild pain, but if it helps my pain in any way, I'm more than willing to accept that. So because it's cold, because my joints are stiff, whatever, it's been relatively slow today. You saw that with the progress that I made on the time stopper this morning before I went to sleep. But, you know, doing my best. Hold on. I gotta plug in my tablet. But I decided to move on from that after this morning, obviously, and I went to sleep at 8, so I finally met my goal there. Woke up at 2:30, still a goal there. And then I sat in bed until 3:30 because it was warm in there. But I am working on Untitled Mystery Scenes right now, and then I am presumably going to move on to, I might do Ashes in the Light first, just so that way it's done, but we'll see. Or at least the editing for the day, not the whole book in general. I have a lot of things that I want to do this month. I want to start book 1 of Amelia's series. I have some research to do on Chicago because that is, as it stands, where her book takes place. But I honestly might just change it to a fake city in Illinois, so that way I don't have to specifically follow the layout of Chicago or the buildings or any of that. It's kind of like how for Bo Austin's series, he is in Clinstone, which is not a real place. One of my other characters is in Elapath in Iowa, which is not a real place, but it allowed me to create different school settings and different town layouts and whatever without having to specifically follow the way that it is in that town. So we'll see. But I would like to start Amelia's series. I would like to finish the Atlantis research. I would like to finish the Lost City of Z research. I need to do the Chicago research. Presumably, depends. If nothing else, crime statistics in Illinois. If not specifically Chicago. Either one works for me, depending on what happens. I still need to get back into the Police Academy research for Alice and Jake's series. I want to finish the note-taking on Mysterious Red, so that way I can begin that either next month or in April for what will presumably be the first Camp Nano of the year. As far as I know, the months are always the same, but I think there has bit one occasion where one of the months switched, but I haven't looked at the Camp Nano site yet. I would love to finish MOH this month. I would love to finish Rasmussen this month. I would love to hit 40K on the Time Stopper. I would love to get into all of my other books, but, you know, we'll see. It mostly depends on how my hands handle. It mostly depends on when it stops being so cold outside, and it mostly depends on how the editing goes, because Ashes in the Light is currently the top priority because I am on a time crunch, because I did not get as far in the edits last year as I needed to because of how long edit number 4 took. But we'll see. There's a lot to do. I also have videos to get back into editing, the work in progress videos and all of that. I finally successfully got one exported from my app yesterday, which was an Ashes in the Light video, because I was having video issues where the videos would not export no matter what I did, which I believe is in one of these work in progress videos at some point. But it just wouldn't export, so I let it sit alone for a few days and finally managed to get like a 6-minute video exported yesterday. It's been uploaded. I just need to make it public today, and then get back into editing videos after that. So I'm going to alternate between all of those things today, the usual. I still have book merch to do for Ashes in the Light, Cut to the Kill, and Man of Darkness. I started designing the full PDF cover for Cut to the Kill, because that one I mostly have a great idea of how many pages are in it. At least the normal font version. I'll have to redesign the cover again for the big font version, but that can obviously wait until that is formatted. But then I'll also need to do that for Ashes in the Light once it's completely formatted, and I'll need to do that for Man of Darkness once it's completely formatted. I cannot show you any of the covers yet because there have been no cover reveals just yet, but once I get around to it, I am very excited to finally show you guys those covers. But that'll be a while yet. I still have stuff to do first. But I am going to write until 5 p.m. It is currently 4:46. I'm going to accomplish whatever I can on Untitled Mysteries. Then I'm going to go do bird chores. I'm going to skip dishes today just so I don't have to take off my gloves because, again, it is cold. I don't want to deal with that right now. I washed all of the dishes yesterday and there are only like 4 in the sink, so that can wait. I promise. But after bird chores, I'm going to come back here and potentially finish the scene that I'm currently working on in the Untitled Mystery thing, and then we'll go from there. I'm probably going to work on Ashes in the Light first. There's only one TV show that I watched tonight, and that is on from 7 to 8, I think. There might be 2, depending on if the second one is new tonight. But, which typically means that I don't accomplish much from 7 to 9 if the second one is also new tonight. But outside of that, I'm going to do everything I can to get all my editing done and to meet my 2.9 thousand writing goal every day, and we will go from there. So I'm going to get into all of that. I have rambled on long enough. But I just wanted to give you guys a general update on everything since I didn't do any actual like speaking parts yesterday. I don't think I've done any this week, or not many. But I'm going to get back into all of this thrilling stuff. I'm going to do my best to keep my hands as warm as I can whenever I can and see what can be accomplished. So, hooray. But I will see you guys with an update after I accomplish something here in Untitled Mysteries, and then I'll see you again when I accomplish something in Ashes in the Light and all of that thrilling jazz. So, I am going to get into that. Hey guys, so it is currently 4:32 p.m. And I just went through the article on Z that I've been taking notes on, and not counting the part that I've already taken notes on, which is a fair share of it, the rest of the article is 17,282 words. It is a New Yorker article. It is long as hell, but it is very informative and incredibly interesting. All of the stuff that goes into this city is beyond interesting. It's unfathomable to me that some of this stuff actually happened, and I know it did because I read some of it and I'm like, that is too hilarious for it to have happened in fiction. It's one of those things where, you know, the city might be fictional, but the events that revolve around it and the search for it is not. Obviously, there are many people who have gone out there and disappeared in search of it. But I'm very excited about the research for this one. I'm very excited to eventually write something on it. And I can't wait. It's going to take a long time because there's a lot of research that's going into it. As I'm doing this article alone, anytime that something comes up that I'm not familiar with, I leave a comment on the Google Doc and I'm like, hey, research this after you're done with this article. There's a lot that's going to go into it, and after I'm done with the Google Doc, I'm going to go through and do note cards and sticky notes and organize it and, you know, do a whole super thrilling thing. But it's going to take a while. But very excited, and I'm going to keep working on that this month as much as I can. But I'm going to work on it for the next half hour or so, then I'm going to do bird chores, and then when I come back, I'm going to start editing Ashes in the Light, and then move on to writing once I hit the 7,000 whatever edit goal in there for the day. So I'll see you guys with one more update on the word count for the Z research, and then I'll see you again once I edit Ashes in the Light for the day. Hey guys, it is currently 12:53 in the morning, and I have only done any actual writing for about 15 minutes, and that has just been work in the Lost City of Z research. So far I've written a little over 600 words there, making good progress. There's a little over 13,000, there's somewhere between 13,000 and 14,000 words left of the article that I'm currently on. There's a lot more researching that needs to be done after that, and a lot more note searching and organizing and outlining that needs to be done after that. Outlining of the notes, not of the story. I still don't think I'll outline the story once I get around to it. But about 600 words so far in 15 minutes. It was very nice to be able to reach word counts like that again. I feel like it's been forever since I've been able to write like that. But the gloves, as long as my hands are warm-ish, they do a lot to help the arthritis pains, and that is great. Eventually, I'm going to invest in the gloves that cover my whole finger, and then I think I'm going to invest in them for all of my joints. We'll see. But I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between 3 things this morning up until I go to bed at hopefully 8. The Lost City of Z research, Uncharted, and Ashes in the Light editing. I was supposed to finish it yesterday. I don't do a lot of editing on the weekends, and when it is an edit that I have to listen to, it's even harder because, again, I'm out here in the living room with the birds. I tend to watch movies with my mom on the weekend. I tend to watch Netflix with my mom on the weekends, stuff like that. So usually when something falls directly on a weekend, I am more willing to push it aside as long as I get some writing done. So I will be finishing Ashes in the Light today. It'll be one day behind where I wanted to be, but I also started one day late, so it's not a huge deal, I don't think. I'm doing these in 15-minute sessions, so I have already played a 15-minute session of Uncharted. I've played written notes for 15 minutes, and now I'm going to go play Uncharted for another 15 before coming back to Ashes in the Light for 15, and that is how I will alternate. It keeps my brain from just sitting on one thing for too long, and it gets me standing up instead of sitting here for hours doing nothing. It's better than binge watching The Office for 8 hours and never standing up during those 8 hours. So there's that. But I'm going to get back into Uncharted. I am almost done with the 4th game again. So, you know, that's something. But I'm going to get into that, and then Ashes in the Light, whatever. I'll either update you guys a couple times throughout the morning or just one big update before I go to sleep. Not 100% sure yet, but either way, I'll see you guys soon-ish. Alrighty, it is 5:29 in the morning. I've done some editing here on Ashes in the Light, a little over 7,000 words so far. That has been from here to here. I still have these left to do, but that's not too bad. I have cut back a lot of words on this book, mostly because I'm removing a lot of dialogue tags and any jumbled sentences and whatnot. And then the only other thing that I've done so far today is this. I've already met the 2,900-ish word goal that I try to accomplish every day here this month, which I believe I have actually accomplished every day this month so far, which is something. But all of this has been Z research, so progress is being made. I'm going to take a little break here and just play Uncharted for a while instead of switching back and forth, and then I will probably eventually come back to more research before I go to sleep, so that way when I wake up I can only work on Ashes in the Light until it's finished, and then I will work on writing after that. But either way, once I come back around to research, I will update you guys one more time before I go to sleep. Alrighty, it is 5:28 p.m. A little bit ago I finished edit number 7 of Ashes in the Light. I ended up with 44,773 words, which was somewhere between 200 and 300 words less than I ended up with in edit number 6. I have already filmed a video on edit number 7 that I'll be editing and uploading eventually. I'd like to get a work in progress video out before that, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go do bird chores, and then when I come back here I'm going to work on drawing stuff for Ashes in the Light. I need to draw a couple things for the book format, something for the header, something for the header for the chapters individually, the header for each part, there are 8 of those, and the little ghost that's going to go in between scenes as a scene divider, which I normally use 3 asterisks in the first draft. This is going to be a ghost in the formatted book. The paperback anyway. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do stuff like that in the ebook, because then you have to change the way that you export it and whatnot. But we'll see. I edited over 13,000 words today to make up for the words that I did not edit this weekend. So there's that. But the only other thing that I need to do today is attempt to get some more writing done, but since I've already met my goal, that's not going to be my biggest concern or anything. Eventually this week I would like to start edit number 9 of Cut to the Kill, and then eventually get back into Man of Darkness sometime after that, but obviously Ashes in the Light still takes top priority because it needs to be done in time for me to design a cover and all of that. But that's all I got. So I will see you guys either when I do some writing or when I get some drawing done or something like that, but I'm going to get into all of that after bird chores, and then I will hopefully see you for another update soonish. Alrighty, it is now 8:21 in the morning. I wrote about 200 words in the research notes for The Lost City of Z. Every time that I find something that works for me, playing Uncharted in between writing and whatnot, the next night I tend not to do that because I'm a stubborn moron. I'm not sure what the reason is, but you know, anyway, it's now 8:21. I'm no longer tired because I had to clean up animal messes and let the dogs inside and outside 400 times. So I'm gonna lay here and stare at the ceiling and attempt to go to sleep so that I can still get 6 hours of sleep, you know, in the next 8 minutes here, so we'll see. I'm still going to wake up at 2:30 and I'm still going to go about my business of writing and formatting and all that fun jazz. And maybe at some point I'll sneak in a nap if I can, but Otherwise, I'm going to do my best to get some sleep and then get back into writing once I wake up. I haven't met the goal yet, obviously, this morning, and the only other thing that I need to do outside of writing today, particularly, is formatting Ashes in the Light, so that way it's ready to go on Monday. So, those are the only two things that I have planned as a game plan type thing for today, but, you know, we'll see where the day takes me. So I'm going to try and get some sleep, hopefully be up in 6 hours-ish, and then get back into all of my writing, you know, animal messes and dogs being let in and out 400 times after I wake up as well, impending. But either way, I will give you guys an update once I am awake and once something else is accomplished. Alrighty, it is 6:48 p.m. on the 12th day of February, and this video is going to be on the formatting process of Ashes in the Light in preparation for the 8th edit. I'm going to be filming this in between on my phone and my iPad, depending on when my iPad is uploading videos to Google Photos, so on and so forth. I need space on it, so I need to upload some videos before I can record more videos. But anyway, I have scrolled through all of this over here and gone through and checked the dates to make sure that what day of the week it happens on corresponds with the actual day. This one I actually had Monday, November 22nd, which was wrong, so it is now Tuesday. Hooray. So now I'm going through and designing the stuff for the formatting. Each one of these is going to look like this, with this little ghost here in the background. I gotta open it up first. Each one of the parts, there are 8 parts, has another ghost that I drew out on it once it loads. If it ever loads. Like that. Because of the way this screen is oriented, this looks weird, but it blends in fine normally. I don't know what's going on there, but it does not look like that normally, so if I need to change something, I will, but yeah, we'll see. Normally it doesn't look like that. I'll change it if I have to. And then I also have this little ghost for these scene dividers in the formatting. So I am going to start setting up the document here in a few, and I'll record as much of that process as I can, but I'm actually going to put this into Word and see if I need to fix this issue here or not, so I'll see you in a few. This is what it's supposed to look like. I don't know why it looks like that in my photos, but this little hazy outline looks fine on Word, so I don't have to change anything. So I'm slowly going to get into formatting here in a little bit, and I will see you guys when I get into that. Alrighty, so I have the first 6 of these headers made already, so I am going to get into formatting. I am doing this during the commercial breaks for the show I am watching, so this will probably be relatively quick. But I'm going to start with changing the size. I personally work on 5/8, that is the size of all of my books, so I just gotta find that. And then we need to go into the margins. I do have one, you saw it up here, that was something that's already formatted, but I'm going to go through this so you can see it. So for me, the tops and bottoms of these are 0.25 inches. The inside, or yeah, the left and right, I suppose, are 0.27 and 0.27. Leave me alone, Windows. The gutter is 0.5. Okay, and then you need to mirror the margins so that way the gutters are on both sides, and we're going to go ahead and apply it to the whole document, even though right now that is 1 page. I think that's the only thing I need to do. So the first page of this, I am going to change my font though. I cannot remember what size font I chose for Cut to the Kill. Just a second. So for me, I need 2 blank pages first. So we're just going to go ahead and insert a blank page. This would normally be where I list what other books I have written previously that you can buy, but since Ashes in the Light is the first book of this year and it is a new leaf, it is not going to list any of the books that I have self-published previously. So after this would be my title page, and I'm just going to do this for the time being. And then I would need another blank page, and then dedication and copyright, which I'm just going to do this for right now. And then another blank page for me, and then the first chapter. Alright, I've now pasted this like a million times and I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's in the second section, so I don't know. Just go square. Oops. Alright, so we'll bring it up here. I'm going to pause this because I have to sneeze. Okay, so then we'll move it back to the top of the page. That's better. Do I want it in the center or over? I don't think it much matters. It does not. So I'll put it in the center. It doesn't really move it either way, unless I were to crop it, but I don't really want to do that, so. So this is what we have for the chapter headers now. And then I can come up here. This is an odd page. Oh, go down here. Different odd and even pages. This is an odd page. I can't remember if odd pages are, I think they're my name. So we'll go to page number, top of page. I need a second to sort out this. That's what the different sections are supposed to be for, so yeah, give me a second. Alright, so I messed with a few things. So title page, if this was a book, they're backwards more or less. So like this would be the first page, which you would open the cover and it would be on this side, and this would be on this side of the book. I'm holding the phone with my other hand, so I can't show that super well. Here. So this here is this page, and this here is this page, but this is just what it looks like because for all intents and purposes, this is an odd page, this is an even page. So that being said, the dedication is on this side, there's a blank page on this side, then you flip another page and we have the first part on this page, and then there's another blank page, so that way when you turn the page, the back of it is blank, and then the chapter begins on one of these pages as well. The only thing I need to do here is I did mess with it. I got all of this fixed, whatever. I need to flip these around so that way the book title is on this side and the my name is on this side. So I'm going to do that. I'll just show you a couple settings. So you do not want it linked to the previous section. You want different odd and even pages. And then your page numbers are over here. You can add the titles in later and it doesn't affect anything. I changed it to these settings over here. And then this one, the thing I had to do was, this was in section 2, even though I had changed it so it wasn't in section 2. So I needed to fix the pages so that way this was in its own section with everything else, so there was no page number on it. So I'll have to remember to do that later as well. But I'm going to switch these two around. My show is starting, and I will see you guys in a few. Alright, so next step is the asterisks. So we're going to get rid of those. We're going to insert a picture. Comes down here. Text wrapping, top and bottom. Let's try 0.3. Where did you go, sir? I don't know where he went. Oh, there he is. Okay. What happens when we put you at the bottom? Too low. So then we just move you up a little bit. Little more. Nope, too much. Perfect. And then I'll make sure, oop, not that way, this one. Make sure that he's aligned in the center. And I think that is, oh, so now I'm going to do that for these. My show's back on, so I'll be back in a few. Alrighty, so I have gotten through these first chapters and then started part 2 and gotten to the first chapter there. So after the end of the May 25th chapter, I started a new section here. So this is section 2, this is section 3. This allows me to get rid of the page number. So like before, if this were a book, this one ends on this page, so then I have a blank page here, and then part 2 begins here, and then I have another blank page, so that way chapter, well, the May 30th chapter starts here. That took a little bit of
finagling just because Word was really being weird. Anytime I would start a new page, it would end up being an odd number, so I'd go from page 43 to page 45 and there'd be no 44 in between. But I eventually got there and fixed it. So now there are no page numbers on these, and then the page number starts again here. When I get to that tomorrow, I will show you that, but otherwise, that's all I have for this one, because I did it while I was watching TV, so I couldn't record it very much. But like always, low ghosty here, low ghosty there, and low ghosty there. I'm very happy with the way this is coming along, despite any and all difficulties that have been showing themselves at this very moment. But I'm done with this for tonight. It's 10:35 p.m. I'm going to move on to writing for the rest of the night, research notes for an unrelated book, and then I'm going to come back to this tomorrow. I might do a little bit of it in the morning after my mom wakes up, because the computer's in her room, and before I go to sleep, so we'll see. But I will give you guys another update when I come back around to this book and the formatting process. But it took a long time, but I did accomplish still a lot today when it comes to formatting. It can be a long process, but I think in the end it is quite worth it. But I'll show it to you guys at some point tomorrow. But for the rest of the night, about the next hour, I'm going to move on to taking notes on the lost city of Z and try to meet the 2.9 thousand word goal that I have for every day, and to go from there. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. My knuckles aren't super tense or sore, and since I'm not watching TV or anything right now, it should go relatively quickly. Tomorrow morning I am planning on playing Uncharted in between writing, so that way I actually get something done. So that's the hope. But I'm going to get into this, try to meet the word goal, and then I will give you guys one more update before midnight strikes.